Digimon evolution is free, meaning yes, technically any Digivolution could happen, which makes it all the more surprising when very similar Digimon have never even Digivolved from or into each other in anime, V-Pets, anything except by technicality in the card game. It's almost like sometimes even Digimon Creative don't see the similarities and connections they've made, or if they do, for some reason they've never thought to actually make the Digivolutions happen. So on today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 instances of Digimon evolutions that absolutely should happen, and not only don't happen very regularly, have never happened once in official media. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video, and yes, we are talking about 10 obvious Digimon evolutions that somehow have never happened. You know, the nights are drawing in, I'm filming at nighttime again because it's not light until 10 PM here anymore. That's got me thinking towards October and the spooky season, and what better way to enjoy some cozy horror than with today's sponsor, Gloomy Eyes, the game. When the sun gave up on humanity, darkness and gloom took its place. In a world plunged into eternal night and torn by conflict between the living and the undead, one faint glimmer of hope still flickers in the hearts of two special souls. Gloomy Eyes tells the tale of Gloomy, a sweet zombie boy, and Nina, a mischievous human girl who defy the rules by teaming up and embarking on a quest to bring back the daylight. Gloomy Eyes features a unique self-co-op gameplay style where you control two heroes in one single-player story. That's right, you control two characters at once in this spooky little fairy tale. With its Tim Burton-inspired art style, Gloomy Eyes is magical, gothic, and beautifully handcrafted. It's like a cozy Tim Burton movie you can actually play. Step into a world where the macabre meets the magical. Gather round for a heartwarmingly bleak fairy tale of necromantic adventure, as told by the old gravekeeper. While the living and the undead are squabbling something fierce, two unlikely souls meet and become one another's closest companions. But for any hope of a cheery forever after, they must set off on a journey together to find the sun and restore its light to the world. Each level is a stunning, handcrafted, rotatable diorama overflowing with visual macabre charm and ghoulishly delightful details. Explore these miniature worlds from multiple angles as you uncover secrets, solve puzzles, and play out a story of a love that should never be. In this cozy horror adventure, spooky charm without gore or jump scares. Creepy, but never gory. And if that sounds as cool to you as it did to me, please make sure you go check out Gloomy Eyes the game. It is out now. Play Gloomy Eyes, a cozy horror adventure, out now on Steam. Alright, so in at number 10 of our obvious Digimon evolutions that never happened is Zuba-Igamon to Grademon. This one is just purely visual, but it's one I've never been able to unsee. The connection between Grademon and the Zubamon line is so clear. Golden swordsman. They're also all vaccine type and members of the Metal Empire, which I think is a fun addition. And this is kinda silly, but Grademon is a warrior type, and the majority of the Zubamon line are weapon types. Warrior, weapon, good alliteration. A warrior needs a weapon, right? Bare minimum, I think we should get an Alphamon or Yuken style merging where Grademon wields Zuba-Igamon as his sword or something. Then at number 9 is Cyberdramon going to Darkdramon. Another perhaps basic link, but this has never happened. This again is a chiefly visual connection, but they're also both android type Digimon and they are Dramon, so a clear link is there to me. But really, this is just me putting Cyberdramon next to Darkdramon and going, look at them, man. Winged, dark, cyborg dragons. This isn't a, oh my god, they should only evo from each other, because of course Darkdramon should be a member of the D Brigade still. And I'm not saying that Cyberdramon should be added to the D Brigade. What I am saying is, how has this never happened, even once? And while we're in the Dramon world, Volcdramon and Volcanic Dramon, they basically have exactly the same name. And now look, like the Zuba-Igamon and Grademon situation, this is likely just because Volcanic Dramon has that curated Digimon Links Vorvomon line. However, they're both getting lots of outings, from Volcdramon in Adventure 2020 to Volcanic Dramon in Digimon Liberator and more, and the Vital Bracelet actually did have Volcanic Dramon digivolve from Volcamon or Volcanomon, so they're aware of these volcano links between Digimon. It's just so funny to me that these two very visually similar Digimon with very similar names and themes have just never been seen to digivolve. This is one that is technically possible in the card game, I guess, but again, not really. So I moved on from the Dramon side. Now I want to move on from the D-Brigade side of the Cyberdramon, Darkdramon evolution I talked about before to talk about why Assaultmon has never digivolved from Sealsdramon. And actually, we can add another Digimon to that now with High Commandramon, the new Commandramon evolution from Digimon Seekers. So while now Assaultmon is not technically a D-Brigade member, despite visually looking like it should be one, it actually was considered a member of the D-Brigade in Digimon Crusader alongside Cannondramon. It's wild to me that they went the extra effort of temporarily adding these new members to the D-Brigade and even having Assaultmon be able to become Darkdramon in Crusader, but never let it evo off Sealsdramon. Mental. This connection is so clear to me. I do genuinely think that Assaultmon should retroactively be added full time to the D-Brigade because its whole vibe fits the D-Brigade so well. You could consider it like a horse-mounted infantry. And now that we have High Commandramon in the mix, adding another champion of the D-Brigade that Assaultmon could digivolve from, again, outside of potentially in the card game if you made the right deck that worked, Sealsdramon has never in an official capacity digivolved into Assaultmon. This next one genuinely blows me away, and I do think it's just an accident of happenstance and nothing else, but Agumon Black 2006, specifically the 2006 variant, has never digivolved into Dark Tyrannomon. This could not be a more anime-style evolution line if it tried. Black dinosaur Digimon, both with big claws and wrist bindings, and they've never been connected. Now, of course, Dark Tyrannomon has digivolved from Agumon Black and even Agumon 2006 in other media, but never Agumon Black 2006. Heresy. It just feels like an even stronger connection than the regular Agumon Black to me, given those arm braces that they share, and specifically the arm braces that Agumon Black 2006 inherits from Agumon 2006. But I feel like this is just a massive oversight that they maybe didn't even think about doing, because yeah, Agumon Black 2006 has one of the least outings of all the Agumon variants, but come on Bandai, come on Toei, make this one happen. And while we're talking about kind of variants of Agumon and protagonist Digimon in general, I've talked a few times in these videos about how similar Blitz Greymon and War Growlmon is. The similarities are really quite wild. They're virus, cyborgs, red armored dinosaur or dragony Digimon with white spiky hair, and both even have electric attacks. While obviously intended to be a War Greymon variant, Blitz Greymon either intentionally or unintentionally becomes so similar to the Guilmon family, which makes it so surprising to me that as far as I know, again card game potential aside, they've never been connected through Digivolution or even lore. Not one VPET, not one anime outing, not even something like Seekers or Liberator. Again, this is very anime style evolution, but we can't pretend the franchise doesn't have that. Well, of course, the free Digivolution will always be an important component. There's a reason why every anime season, why Liberator and a bunch more have these curated evolution lines, because people enjoy them. So not seeing War Growlmon and the Guilmon line become Blitz Greymon ever blows me away. And while we were talking about getting spooky earlier, I think another one that really feels obvious to me is Felismon and Barbamon. Obviously, of course, they're demonic Digimon. Barbamon is a demon lord, Felismon is a fallen angel, they're both virus types, both belonging to Nightmare Soldiers at one time or another, and putting them side by side, the visual connections are so strong, right down to things like their ears and earrings, and both having staffs. Admittedly, Felismon's is much more like the traditional depiction of the devil's pitchfork. There's not really much mythological crossover between their namesakes, Mephistopheles and Barbatos. However, at least someone at Digimon sees the connection, because in Digimon Dreamers, Barbamon is Felismon's boss. And Barbamon even abandons Felismon to try and save his own life, but even in that instance, Barbamon does not digivolve from Felismon, and Felismon does not digivolve into Barbamon. Crazy. I've been thinking a lot about Sharkmon in Digimon Story Time Stranger recently, for reasons you probably know why. Us getting a brand new prominent ultimate or perfect level Shark Digimon has made me really feel for my boy Pulsemon, and in this instance his ultimate level, Divemon, not to be confused with Divermon. A hammerhead shark swimmer, such a cool design. Which made me realize we've never seen Tylomon digivolve into Divemon, or Divemon digivolve into Surfymon, and Surfymon is a surfing shark. That's another type of water sports that would fit perfectly with the swimming sport-themed Pulsemon evolution in Divemon. Now yes, Tylomon is based on a Tylosaurus and all this, it's kind of folding in elements into the design of Tylomon to also be shark-like. Whether or not you consider a Tylosaurus to be a shark, even semantically, visually, the sharky connections are through through the roof. Now you might also say, well, Divemon's still pretty recent, right? Wrong. Divemon is almost 5 years old now. It's had plenty of time to evolve outside of the Pulsemon Evos and still really hasn't. And with Sharkmon being in Time Stranger, I feel like Divemon's going to become one of those Digimon that gets forgotten. I just feel like it's kind of crazy and long overdue. Half a decade after its inception, we've never seen it digivolve into similar sharky Digimon. Maybe not from Tylomon, but certainly into Surfymon, right, Bandai? Alright, penultimate pick. This one is absolutely wild to me. Dark Knightmon, first of all, crazy that's not a Mega, it's an Ultimate or Perfect level, has never digivolved into Craniamon. Dark Knightmon is a Dark Knight type, and Craniamon is a Holy Knight type. They are Knight Digimon. The visual similarities here are also off the chain, with them having very similar weaponry. In fact, I could even see the more spiky bladed double-ended weapon that Craniamon has being an extension of the jousting pole that Dark Knightmon has. But there's also another Digimon, and that's why it's my number 2 pick, that Dark Knightmon has also never digivolved into, Chaos Gallantmon. And you know why that's even crazier? Chaos Gallantmon is also a Dark Knight type Digimon. Do you know how many Dark Knight type Digimon there are? 7. Do you know how many of those are Dark Knightmon variants? 4. Dark Knightmon X, Grey Knightsmon, and Mega Dark Knightmon. And the other 3 are ostensibly variants of Chaos Gallantmon. Regular Chaos Gallantmon Core from Digimon World Dawn, and the very dubiously canon Gallantmon Chaos Mode from the American toy line. But even taking that out, that means there are 6 Dark Knight type Digimon. 4 of them are Dark Knightmon variants or evolutions, and 2 are Chaos Gallantmon. And somehow, despite all that, there being 6 to 7 Dark Knight type Digimon in the entire world, Dark Knightmon has never digivolved to Chaos Gallantmon. Make it make sense. And my ultimate pick was one that I could not believe. I had to double and triple check this, because Dracomon has never, in the history of the Digimon franchise, digivolved to Airdramon. Dracomon is an ancient pure-blooded dragon Digimon that is said to be the progenitor of all Dramon-type Digimon. Now sure, Dracomon doesn't have to digivolve to every Dramon. Fine, there's a lot of Dramon. That said, it has digivolved of course to the Cordramons, Flamedramon, Rounddramon, Vidramon, and Wingdramon, but noticeably missing from the progenitor of all Dramon are the progenitor of Dramon, the original Dramon. Now Birdramon and Seadramon I can give a bit of a pass. While they are Dramon, I don't see intrinsic visual connection there. Airdramon, though, is crazy to me. A ton of visual similarity. The blue body, their head horns that they share, and of course the red wings. The fact that as far as I know this has never happened, besides again by accident in the card game, is insane. Honestly, it's insane that it's never become Birdramon or Seadramon either, as it's the progenitor of all Dramon, but Airdramon in particular, I cannot believe that one has fallen through the gap. Alright, that is it. 10 obvious Digimon evolutions that to this day, as of uploading this video, somehow have never happened in any Digimon media. Let me know your favorite instances of this in the comments down below. Remember, it's just a bit of fun. Digivolution is free. I'm not saying Digivolution has to happen. And of course, potentially in the Digimon multiverse, it could happen one day. Thank you to my sovereigns, ZDK14 and Chaotic Prophet, for supporting me over on patreon.com/Karn EX, and my YouTube channel members here on YouTube who click the join button down below to become part of this channel, get early access to videos, and much more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.